problem, but a kind of social epidemic of the mind, because everyone talks about it, but there hasn't been any comprehensive program to actually develop the capacity of young people. It's actually that capacity that what is needed today, because we are actually in a brain-based economy, a knowledge economy. And so, even though Nigeria has not seen the industrial revolution that will help us, that will help young people to leverage on that real sector to be able to, take the gains of knowledge. Because today, of course, we all know that today that value added is simply knowledge. So I think we are very well analysis. I'm hoping that in this.
Tochi, allow me come in here. Apologies, but from your analysis, it would seem as if the young people have been doing pretty well in the private sector. That means we have to look more in the public sector, towards the public sector. Is it a matter of choice that the younger Nigerians are not looking in that direction, or the sector really can't absorb them, or has a kind of culture that is so strange to young Nigerians?
Suleiman, let me be honest with you. I'm an entrepreneur, and I run my own things, and I can tell you that if you give me an option to go into the civil service, I will not take that offer, no matter how much you want to pay me, because we have a civil service that is not proactive. I go into the ministry, I stay here in Abuja, I go into the various ministries and see young people, energetic, with a whole lot of potential that can be transformed into economic advantage, sitting just down there. And then I wonder what would be their future tomorrow. And you cannot compare this generation with the previous generation, because the previous generation, the expectation then was going to civil service, end up as a permanent secretary or any other public offer. And they have largely benefited from that, as we can see. But today, the situation is different. Any young person who wants to go into civil service today, until the civil service is revolutionized, until the civil service is overhauled to make it in such a way, like how many civil service, how many ministry or parastatal will go today and find them making use of digital equipment, making use of the state-of-art infrastructure that is required of today's economy. And so I think the young people going to civil service or public service really is because they don't have any other thing to do, or they have not been properly oriented in terms of today's marketplace. The market metabolism has run out of control. And if you look at the way things are going, I think our civil service, for it to be able to deliver gain that we're expecting, because even the private sector cannot do very fine without the cooperation of the public sector. So I think that we need young people there, and of course, I'll be following events, and I think there is a new organization by a former MD of Access Bank coming up with an idea that we need young first-class brain going to civil service, but before they can go into, they need to be trained. I think that's a good step in the direction of development.
You think we're not using, just one color brush to paint the public service in that light? I think it would seem as if, is it all that gloom and doom within the public sector? Because I recall I actually started from the public sector, live in school as a young Nigerian. So isn't there a glimmer of hope within the public sector?
Okay. Well, for now, I can tell you where you will submit a letter. You submit a correspondence, and the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, nothing has done on it. And then you don't even think of using email. So at the end of the day, it's putting you back. If you must follow the trend, if you must follow the pace of life, of course, if for instance you are using your phone and your internet is pretty slow, you get impatient. You go into the bank and their network is slow, you get impatient. It's only in civil service going and they are delaying. You don't get paid because it's a culture. You see, so and what I'm saying in earnest is this: that arrangement would have worked yesterday, but today it cannot work because we are talking about globalization. We are talking about global economy. We are talking about participating in a global economy. So it's not an enclosed economy, so to speak, where it doesn't matter what you are doing at home domestically, because. For instance, the election that just happened in America has a huge impact in Nigeria.
So if you look at some of all this now, I'm hoping we'll get back to you on this, Tochi Okafor, so that we can start to talk about some remedy. There must be a change in the year. This is a brand new year, 2017,
okay.
And young Nigerians are looking to having a change in that direction. Because if we talk about empowering young people, also talk about job creation, we have to look at the two sectors, the public and the private, and how much of a better environment the government will create for the private sector will also absorb the huge potential in the demography of young Nigerians you just highlighted. Now, looking at the public sector, there must be something that you think we can do so that it can become some kind of a lucrative place for young Nigerians to also see that they can give their service to the nation.
Yes, really, I will look forward to that day where what happened in America during the JF Kennedy's administration, where he came up and motivated the young Americans. Some of them who had ambition to go into private sector now embrace public service, because that's the only way that one can actually offer himself for the service of the nation. That's the only way to grow patriotism, actually. And so, but I think the government today, first of all, we must understand that this generation is a generation of technology. It's a generation that is on the go. It's a generation that have embraced technology to be able to be valuable. And so I look forward to a situation where our civil service will be more digitalized, will be more in tune with the realities of today, especially where young people want something to be done fast. So I want, and again, of course, though we're talking about corruption, of course, I don't know the level this government has actually nailed corruption, but I can still tell you that it's still an inhibition, and so there should be more transparency. There should be a way whereby you get into the so-called.
I think it's a fine place for us to anchor this. Tochi, it's a fine place for us to anchor this segment this evening. I'd like to thank you so much for speaking with us. We'll keep the conversation going for young people and how much of participation we get to see from young Nigerians in 2017.